So today we'll be doing a short review of perspective from a Cayman owner driving a 911. So this is tunnel action for you. So today we'll be doing a short review of perspective from a Cayman owner driving a 911. So I'm in a 2017 991.2 Carrera GTS with Catless Headers and a larger plenum, BMS Intakes and a stage 2 tune. So I think this car is running about 550 horsepower and 700 Newton meters of torque. Can't really figure out. I can't really remember the figures on the top of my head. So big difference between my car and this car is obviously the powertrain. This car has twin turbos. It's a very torquey motor, especially since it's tuned. Literally endless amount of load and torque, so that means that you don't really even have to downshift to get the revs up to get in the power zone. I think power comes in around 2000 RPM. It's not much turbo lag, to be honest, and it's really easy to drive. Look, if I just want to accelerate in my Cayman, I would have to downshift to maybe 4th or 5th. This car I can just leave it in 7th, and look, just tap the throttle and car's just accelerating. And look, it's already nearly at 140, and that was only at 15-20% throttle. In my car, to get that kind of acceleration, I gotta downshift to 6, maybe 5th, but I think 6 would be alright. And we're looking at the revs being around 3,500 to 4,000 RPM to get that same amount of torque or power in. And this car has, you know, and most modern Porsches, the PDK 7th gear is an overdrive gear compared to the GT PDK, which uses all 7 gears for top speed. This car only uses 6, like all the other PDKs. So on 7th gear at overdrive, it's doing a really good job just accelerating in 7th gear. So it just shows how much low end torque there is and makes it really easy to drive. Like, this is a lot easier to drive compared to the Cayman in terms of you don't really have to keep downshifting to pick up. You can just leave it in gear and just have a very relaxed drive, even if you just want to overtake somebody. It's really simple. I think from that perspective, this car is a lot easier. So you could say the daily usability, I would say. But then again, the Cayman is also a very practical car, as you know, front boots, rear boots. But we're just talking from the powertrain perspective. This feels just a lot more relaxed when you're driving, because you don't have to keep downshifting. You have to just get the power in. So okay, moving on from the powertrain, I mean, so this car, it's twin turbo. For a turbocharged car, it sounds not bad actually. I mean, the fact that this car has Catless Headers as well, that does help quite a lot with the sound. You do get a lot of turbo spooling, turbo whistles when the valves are open and when you're in sports mode, especially the crackles and pops are really loud in sports mode, and you do get a very loud, deep, bassy sound and a lot of turbo sounds when the valves are open and in sports mode. But you know, right now we're just cruising in comfort mode. Valves are closed. There's not much drone, to be honest. Perfectly usable at highway speeds at 110, even at 130. Perfectly usable. You just turn on some music and, you know, car will sound fantastic. There won't be any headache, you know, drone, there won't be any drone. So you can take this car for long distance without coming out of the car feeling tired from an overwhelming or loud exhaust. So I think I haven't driven a 911 Carrera GTS with stock exhaust before, but I would assume it's probably slightly softer than this. But yeah, I mean, this is totally livable. It's not like it's droning with the Catless Headers. So now, since the roads are clearing up, let's just pop into sports mode and I'll show you. You can hear a bit more from the back. Let me just drop in a few gears. You can hear those crackles. Let's just give it a short pull. So like I said, this car is very, very quick. And it sounds not bad. Look, you can hear some crackles in the back. Some very, very loud crackles. Yeah, let's just put it back to comfort mode. Yeah, the sound is pretty good for turbocharged flat 6, to be honest. Flat 6 car does sound really good. So to all owners out there who have a Carrera S, the 991.2 or a 992 CS or Carrera GTS with the same engine as this car, please get a DCAT on your exhaust. It will definitely waken up your whole car. I mean, your car will feel totally different. It'll be a different animal. Look at that. Even just cruising with 5% throttle, you can hear a very nice tone in the back. You do get a lot more turbo noises as well. I'm not sure whether the mic is picking that up, but the crackles are especially more pronounced. So this is some tunnel action for you. Pop it back into comfort mode since there's a lot of traffic on the road. So, alright, we've talked about the engine. Now let's talk about how the car feels on the road. So definitely this car is a bigger car compared to the Cayman. Engine's at the rear as well compared to the Cayman, which is mid-engine. But just looking out the sides and looking out the rear, you can see that this car feels slightly roomier inside, especially because this car has the panoramic roof. But this car is roomier on the inside. When you look out the side windows compared to the Cayman, you do see slightly wider arches, very slightly. But when driving on the road, the car is a bit bigger compared to the Cayman, and it doesn't, when you're taking corners, I mean this car's planted, don't get me wrong, but the Cayman, you just feel that the car rotates easier, especially with speed compared to this. But this car takes corners, it can go through corners at faster speeds compared to the Cayman because the tires are way wider compared to the Cayman. But the Cayman is it's slightly more nimble feeling compared to this car. The Cayman definitely, I think, feels more at home in the curves. It's an easier car to drive fast in the curves, whereas with this car, when you're pushing it at the limit, you really gotta know your car well, and you gotta really be easy on the throttle because this car has so much torque. The rear can just kick out really simply. But the Cayman is just very well balanced with extreme linear power delivery, so that car is a very easy car to drive quick in the corners. While this car, the more you push it, way more skill you require. But on the Cayman, it's really easy to explore the limit of the car, let's put it this way. So yeah, I think with either cars, you can't go wrong with either cars. I mean, a 911 is a 911, the Cayman is the Cayman at the end of the day. They're both built for different things. I think the Cayman is, I would say, a better sports car in a certain sense, because like it's built, I mean, when there's very low speed hairpins, very tight curves, very small roads, the Cayman feels right at home because the car is just a smaller car in general. 911 now, especially with the 992 generation, the 991 generation, it's gotten to become a very big car. It feels more like a GT car with still a lot of sports heritage in its blood. So I think this car can do the B roads as well, but when the roads do get very tight, it's a lot easier to drive quick with the Cayman. You don't require as much skill compared to a 911. But the 911, if you do have the skill, but the car can take the corners a lot faster, especially high-speed corners, just due to the amount of grip this car has. Cayman rotates a lot easier because of a shorter wheelbase and lighter car, the mid-engine balance. So it just depends on what kind of road you'll be driving on. And yeah, there's no winner at the end of the day. Both cars are winners in their own respective usage or respective choice. So at the end of the day, it's up to you which one you prefer and what's your usage gonna be. What are your needs? Do you need the 2 back seats in this car? Will you be doing a lot of gymkhanas or autocrosses, where I think the Cayman would excel more because those are very tight tracks, and that's where you need something a little bit more light to be able to be more agile and to weave through the course easier. Or you're going to be doing a lot of long road trips which cover a big span of mostly highways and some B roads, because this car, I guarantee you, this car without doubt is the better highway car, a better motorway car. You just feel more relaxed in this car. I can't seem to explain. I mean, I think there's a lot of factors that just makes this car a bit more relaxed. This car just feels more at home on the motorway. But at the end of the day, I just want to say, you can't go wrong with either. It just depends on what you're looking for and your needs and your wants. Yeah. And of course, the budget that you have, because the 911 is quite a bit more expensive compared to the Cayman. And the Cayman brings fantastic value for the price you're paying, to be completely honest. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please drop a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in